know I said last week that I was going to release a video last week, and I keep saying that because I keep wanting to release a video and then I film them and I hate them, and like being a perfectionist it can be a really good thing but also a really bad thing, and in this case it's really not serving me. And I think it's this specific topic. When I listen back to the video, I'm just like, I know the story of how I got into photography, so when I'm listening back to it, I'm like, no one cares about this. Like, I'm just listening to myself talk about myself, and it kind of makes me cringe. So, but I realize it's not about me, it's about you guys and what you want to hear, and that is honestly my most commonly asked question. But anyway, just to defend myself, I filmed 2 videos in Mexico. I was so proud of myself, and one of them is completely out of focus. It's embarrassing. Thank God I'm not a videographer. And the other one, my whole bra was hanging out down here. Like, I had a tube top on, and anyway, they were both offensive in their own way. And so I'm refilming the video. I'm putting it up tonight, mark my word. So anyway, my most commonly asked question is, how did you get into photography? And I want to merge that with why and how I moved to Los Angeles, because the stories kind of like merge together. And I also get asked that question, so I'm just going to do it all two for one. Does that make sense? Anyway, how did I get into photography, and how did that merge with why and how I moved to Los Angeles? So basically, I've always loved taking pictures ever since I was little. I always asked for throwaway cameras, and I was always at parties taking pictures of couples, and even in college, which is so embarrassing, I had a little point and shoot Canon camera, and I would take my point and shoot to college, to parties where people were drinking, overly drinking, and I would have my camera and I would find cute couples at the party to take pictures of. And at the time I thought it was so cool, and thinking back I'm like, that is actually kind of creepy. But anyway, that just proves my love for love and couples, and I've always had the eye for, I don't know, for love, which is it maybe sounds super cliche, I don't know, but yeah, I've just always loved it. And I actually went to college. I went to Michigan State University, and after I graduated I was like, crap, what am I going to do with my life? I'm refusing to apply to 9-to-5 jobs because I knew I didn't want them. And then I guess long story short, I started nannying for my cousin, and she knew I always loved photography, so she would leave her camera out for me to take pictures of the kids, and she was flipping through the pictures and was like, you're really good, why don't you start a photography business? And I was like, that is ridiculous. You can't make a living. I have to pay for my college debt. I have to live. I have to survive in this life. So I need to make money. So for me at that time, I was like, what can I do that's going to make me the most money? And then I realized that I was thinking about it all wrong. You're not supposed to do something for the money. You're supposed to do it because you love it. And when you go after something you love, success will follow. So I was like, screw it. My sister, praise her little angelic soul, she actually loaned me money for my first camera and my first lens, which I'm actually shooting this video with. How ironic. And yeah, I just started taking pictures. I was working like crazy, and I was nannying 50 hours a week, and I was shooting on the weekends. I was editing at night, and it was tough. I mean, it was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and I mean, you have to want it. I'm a firm believer in following your passion, because you're not going to go the extra mile for something you're not passionate about, and that is just a fact of life, I think. When you're passionate about something, you're willing to go the extra mile no matter what it takes to reach your end goal. So then LA came. I wanted to live here my entire life, and I told myself when I made it to a certain point and I saved enough money, I would move here. And I had a 40 wedding season in 2016, and I just made the decision. I was like, I'm moving to LA, I'm doing it, it's now or never. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of a struggle at first, and it was really scary because, you know, I became so successful in Michigan, and then I risked all of that to move here and like rebuild my clientele, rebuild my network, rebuild a portfolio, all these things that were so scary, but I just had to tell myself, like, you did it once, you could do it again, and I knew what it took to get there. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. And if you could do all those 3 things, then you could achieve your dreams. Anyway, so to wrap up, because I feel like I'm rambling and I could ramble for hours about this topic, go after your passion. I mean, plain and simple. I know it's like so scary, but it's so worth it. Like, your happiness is worth it, and doing something you love every day is worth it. So yeah, that is my advice. It's not easy, but it's worth it, and yeah. Cheers.